Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our assembly today. As you can see, Misty has come to church with me so that she can help me to tell you the story of the Nativity. So if you look around the church, you'll see that the church is looking very, very different at the moment because we're all laid out so that people can come to services. And all around the church, we've got the figures from the Nativity. They're not actually up at the altar yet. So we're going to go and try and find our first figures so that we can tell our story. So Misty's going to come with me. And here's our first set of figures. We have Mary and Joseph, and we have a donkey. Because Mary and Joseph and the donkey are travelling on their way to Bethlehem. They're going to pay their taxes. They're going to see if they can find somewhere to stay. They're going to see what happens. So they're on their way, travelling through so that they can get to Bethlehem. And if we follow through the church, we're going to find the next of our figures. Who do you think the next one's going to be? Have a think about it while I get there. So our next figure is our angel. Our angel who's up, as you can see, on the window at the moment. And she's the angel who came to tell Mary that she was going to have a baby, who came to tell Joseph that he could stay with Mary, who will do all sorts of other taking of messages to lots of people over the rest of the story. So have a think and see who you think the next person the angel is going to go and see while I go and find our next figure. So here we have Misty looking at our cow and our manger. The manger is the place where the animals eat. It's the place where they have their breakfast and their dinner. It's also the place where Jesus was laid down so that he could have a sleep after he'd been born. Because when they went to look for a place that they could stay in Bethlehem, there was no room in any of the inns, and so they ended up just being offered a stable so that they had somewhere that was relatively warm that they could stay in. Now, I asked you who you thought the next people that the angel spoke to were going to be. Hopefully, you've all remembered that the angels came and spoke to the shepherds. And we've got all our shepherds looking after their sheep up on a windowsill. The angels came and sang, told them not to be afraid, and told them that if they went into Bethlehem, there they would find a baby who was wrapped up and lying in a manger. And the shepherds left their sheep, went down off the mountain, and went and found the baby Jesus, and they worshipped him there. Now, we have another set of characters, which Misty's going to go and find, who were travelling from a long way away to come and see Jesus. And while we go there, see if you can remember who it was that was travelling a long, long distance to come and find Jesus. It's our three wise men. Now, we've got three of them. They came and they brought three presents. They brought gold, the sign of kings, frankincense, the sign of God, and myrrh, the sign of death. They brought those three presents to Jesus, And they left him with those presents, and then they went back home. So who is the one person that we have left out of our story so far? He's the last figure that will go into our crib, and he won't go into our crib until after midnight on Christmas Day. And that's Jesus. And here he is, he's lying on my altar. Jesus, the reason that we celebrate Christmas. Jesus, who Christians believe is God. Jesus, whose birth changed an awful lot of things. He's here, and then after midnight, he will be put into our manger. So the last thing I'm going to show you in the church is something that you might not have noticed before, which is our altar. And if you have a look, if I go back a bit so that you can see the altar, there you go. Have a look and see what you think the picture is of. Because it's a beautiful picture. Now I'll come a bit closer and I'll show you. Here we have a soldier. And here we have an angel. Because the picture in the middle, if you look closely, is of Mary and Jesus and of all the people who came to see him and to worship him. So we have on our altar a picture of the Nativity. So when I put our crib together, when we have all our figures down here, they'll be standing in front of a painting which shows the story from someone else's point of view. So if you think that you might like to draw your own picture of the Nativity, you're more than welcome to. This is what an artist thought the Nativity looked like. The figures you've seen are another artist's idea of what people look like. So you come up with your own ideas. Now, Miss D, can you remember the story so that you can tell someone else?